Balanced audio. You've heard the term. It sounds technical. It sounds premium. It shows up everywhere in hi-fi, but it isn't always doing what you think. Welcome to the Audio Lab. I'm Peter Thompson. Today we're untangling the mess around the word balanced, because sometimes it means real studio-grade noise rejection and sometimes it is just a different headphone connector. And those two things are not the same. Balance didn't come from hi-fi, it came from microphones and broadcast. It's three conductors, a hot plus, a cold minus, with the same signal flipped, and a shield or ground. Noise lands equally on both signal wires, the preamp flips the cold back, adds them, and the noise is gone. That is real balanced audio. It was not invented to sound better, it was invented so signal survived long, noisy cable runs. Now, if that's already cleared up the myth for you, you should do the thing. Do all the things. Only takes a millisecond. Anyway, balance wasn't created to sound better. It was created because studios were drowning in hum and interference. Unbalanced cables pick up everything. They're just glorified antennas in the end. So engineers ran the signal on two wires, flipped one, and cancelled the noise at the input. Now they also needed a connector that did not fall out. XLR gave them 3 pins and a locking shell, tough, simple, reliable. Balanced XLR won because it worked, especially over long runs. Now, hi-fi does use real balanced in the right places. Line level gear, XLR pre-outs to power amps, dual mono runs. They use true differential circuits with a hot, cold and a shield. That kind of balance exists because those cables sometimes need to run longer distances or through noisy environments where there's power without picking up interference. Totally legitimate, there is no argument there in hi-fi and balanced. But here's where things get a bit messy. When hi-fi talks about balanced headphones, 4-pin XLR, 4.4mm Pentacon, 2-pin IEM cables, they are talking about a completely different wiring configuration to balanced XLR. With headphone balanced, each channel gets 2 separate wires, not 3. A left plus and minus, a right plus and minus. That's it. There's no third conductor, no shield. So there is no balanced XLR style noise cancellation happening at all. Now you will see balanced offered on a lot of higher end headphones and IEMs, and that's fine. Premium gear can absolutely sound better, but that's usually because the electronics and the drivers are better, not just because of the connector itself. The 4-pin and the 4.4mm outputs do have some practical advantages, but they are not doing the same job as balanced XLR noise rejection. So if you hear an improvement, just remember, it's probably the gear, not the plug. Balanced XLR was designed around common mode noise rejection over long cable runs. That's its job. Headphone balanced is something else. It just separates the returns and lets designers map things slightly different in amps. Now that can mean more power and sometimes less crosstalk, but it is not doing what people imagine when they hear the word balanced. Now compare this to a normal TRS headphone plug. Left plus, right plus, and a shared negative. Simple, reliable, usually tied straight to the circuit ground. Balanced headphones mostly just split that shared negative into 2 wires, and they call it balanced. If those 2 negatives get tied back together on the circuit board, and that does happen, then electrically it is still a common ground, just dressed up at the connector. Different connector, different wiring layout, still not balanced XLR noise rejection. Now, for me, if the industry had given it a different name, none of this would be confusing. The wiring is not the problem. In some systems, it genuinely helps. The problem is the way it's sold. The word balanced gets borrowed because it sounds impressive, but it makes people believe they are getting something they are not. When you first heard balanced headphones, did you think it meant the same kind of noise cancellation as balanced XLR? Yes or no, or something else entirely? Let me know in the comments. I'm genuinely interested. Now, we all hear differences between gear. Headphones, IEMs, amps. There are real sonic differences out there. If you hear a change when you switch to balanced headphone cable, it may not be the connector doing it. Very often, it's the amp design, the cable build, the gain difference, and our brain reacting to what we expect to hear. Confirmation bias is real. Nobody likes hearing that, but it matters. Hearing is personal. Different ears, different music, different rooms. This is a subjective hobby. But if we can spot marketing spin when it shows up, we can make better choices. So I'm going to wrap that there. You might be interested in this next video, optical versus coax. They both came from AES EBU. They are both split if. And once you know how they came about, you start to see where optical makes sense and where copper makes sense. And neither one is better. They are just suited to different jobs. We'll dig into that in the next video. But first, do the thing. Do all the things. It only takes a millisecond and it really helps the channel. And to those of you who have done the thing already, thank you very much. But you know what? Now there's more things. The merch and membership store is up. Link in the description. Hans Valen Suno tracks are down there too. And affiliate links to Fozzy Audio with a discount code while it lasts. Now, tap this video on screen, optical versus coax and why they exist. I'll see you in there.